The soft sliding doors of the airport terminal open quietly, and the noise of the outside world slowly fades behind you. The rush of traffic, the crowded sidewalks, the constant pressure of daily life all seem to disappear the moment you step inside. Ahead of you, a calm and carefully designed space begins to unfold. Polished floors reflect warm lighting from above, distant announcements echo softly across the hall, and large glass windows reveal the elegant silhouettes of aircraft resting on the runway, waiting for their next journey. For most travelers, flying can feel stressful. Long lines, cramped seats, and the constant feeling of being rushed from one moment to the next. But every once in a while, a different kind of experience reveals itself. A quieter side of air travel that many passengers walk right past without ever realizing what they are missing. Somewhere between the crowded rows of economy class and the polished luxury of business class exists a hidden space. A place designed not only for transportation, but for comfort. A place where the journey itself becomes something you look forward to. This is where the most relaxing airline experience truly begins. At first glance, it may not appear dramatic. There are no golden chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, no private suites with closing doors, and no extravagant displays meant to impress the cameras. Instead, the luxury here is quieter, more subtle, and in many ways far more satisfying. Because the real secret of relaxing air travel isn't always found in the most expensive cabin on the plane. Sometimes it exists in the perfect balance between comfort, space, service, and calm design. And for travelers who understand this balance, flying suddenly becomes something very different. It becomes peaceful. As you move toward the airline check-in area, the pace already feels different. Instead of standing in long winding lines that stretch across the terminal, the process moves quickly and smoothly. A friendly agent greets you with a calm smile, confirms your seat, and within moments your luggage is already on its way to the aircraft. The small details begin to matter immediately. There is no rush. No chaos. No tension in the air. Just a quiet sense that the journey ahead has been carefully designed to feel easy. With boarding still some time away, you walk toward the lounge entrance. Large glass panels allow soft daylight to flow inside while the noise of the busy terminal fades once again behind another set of sliding doors. Inside, the atmosphere changes completely. Comfortable chairs are arranged around wide windows that overlook the runway. Travelers sit quietly with coffee in hand while aircraft glide gracefully past in the distance. Some passengers work on laptops, others read, and many simply relax while watching the sky slowly change color as the afternoon turns toward evening. The lighting here is gentle and warm, carefully designed to calm the senses rather than overwhelm them. It feels less like waiting for a flight, and more like stepping into a quiet living room high above the busy world below. Moments like this reveal something important about the most relaxing airline experiences. They begin long before the aircraft ever leaves the ground. As boarding time approaches, there is no frantic rush to the gate. No sudden crowd forming around the boarding door. Instead, passengers move calmly, almost casually, as if everyone understands that the journey ahead has been designed to unfold slowly. Walking down the jet bridge, the distant hum of the aircraft becomes slightly louder. The gentle vibration of the engines waiting at idle reminds you that in just a short time, this machine will carry you thousands of miles through the sky. And then, the aircraft door opens. The first impression is always important. Stepping inside, the cabin feels spacious and quiet. Soft ambient lighting runs along the ceiling panels, casting a subtle glow across the rows of seats. The colors are calm and neutral, designed to make the environment feel open and relaxing rather than crowded. This is where the difference begins to reveal itself. Because while economy class often focuses on fitting as many passengers as possible into the cabin, this space feels intentionally different. The seats are wider. The distance between rows is noticeably larger. And for the first time since entering the airport, you feel like you can truly stretch out. Finding your seat, the experience continues to unfold in small but meaningful ways. A soft pillow rests against the headrest, wrapped in crisp fabric that feels clean and comfortable. A neatly folded blanket sits beside it, offering warmth once the aircraft climbs above the clouds where temperatures outside drop to freezing levels. The seat itself feels more like a carefully designed chair than a typical airplane seat. The cushioning is thicker. The armrests are wider. And when you lean back slightly, the recline feels smooth and supportive rather than rigid. But perhaps the most noticeable difference is the space in front of you. Your legs are free to move. Your knees are nowhere near the seat ahead. And suddenly, the idea of spending many hours here no longer feels uncomfortable. Instead, it feels relaxing. Passengers around you begin settling into their seats as well. Some explore the large entertainment screens mounted in front of them, while others quietly arrange their belongings in the spacious storage pockets and overhead bins. The cabin slowly fills with a quiet energy that feels calm rather than crowded. Flight attendants move gracefully through the aisle offering welcome drinks. A glass of sparkling water, a fresh juice, or perhaps a simple cup of coffee. Even this small gesture makes the atmosphere feel more welcoming. Outside the window, airport vehicles move carefully across the ramp while baggage carts and catering trucks complete the final preparations for departure. The aircraft door closes with a gentle sound. And just like that, the journey truly begins. The engines slowly increase their low rumble as the aircraft begins to move away from the gate. Taxiing across the airport feels almost peaceful as sunlight reflects across the wings stretching out on either side. Inside the cabin, the lighting dims slightly. A soft, golden glow now fills the space, creating a calm environment that prepares passengers for the long journey ahead. As the aircraft reaches the runway, the engines begin to roar with quiet power. The acceleration presses you gently into the seat as the runway lights blur past the window. And then the ground slowly falls away. The city becomes smaller. Roads turn into thin lines across the landscape. And within moments, the aircraft rises above the clouds where the sky stretches endlessly in every direction. Once the seatbelt sign turns off, the true comfort of the cabin becomes even more noticeable. You adjust the seat slightly, extending the leg rest that gently lifts your feet into a more relaxed position. The extra recline allows your back to settle comfortably, while the headrest adjusts perfectly to support your neck. For long flights, these details matter far more than most travelers realize. Because comfort in the air isn't just about luxury. It's about removing the small pressures that slowly build during long journeys. The ability to stretch your legs. The ability to shift your position easily. The ability to relax without constantly adjusting your seat. These simple changes transform the entire experience. Soon, the first meal service begins. Instead of a rush tray quickly placed on a narrow table, the presentation feels far more thoughtful. Warm dishes arrive with neatly arranged utensils, and the aroma of freshly prepared food slowly fills the cabin. Passengers enjoy quiet conversations while watching movies or listening to music through noise-reducing headphones. The outside world fades away. Hours begin to pass almost unnoticed. At cruising altitude, the aircraft glides smoothly through calm air while the sun slowly moves across the horizon. In some parts of the cabin, travelers drift into light sleep beneath soft blankets. The gentle hum of the engines becomes almost hypnotic. And this may be the greatest secret of the most relaxing airline experiences. They allow time to slow down. Instead of counting the hours until landing, passengers begin enjoying the journey itself. You glance out the window and see endless clouds glowing softly under the afternoon sun. Far below, the earth stretches silently across continents and oceans. Inside the cabin, the quiet atmosphere continues. Some travelers read books. Others explore documentaries and films on the entertainment system. A few simply lean back with eyes closed, enjoying the rare chance to disconnect from the busy world waiting on the ground. And somewhere during this long peaceful flight, you begin to understand something that frequent travelers already know. True comfort in the sky doesn't always require the most expensive ticket. Sometimes it only requires the right balance. Enough space to relax. Enough service to feel welcomed. Enough quiet to allow the mind to slow down. As the hours pass, the cabin lighting gradually changes again. Soft blue tones appear along the ceiling panels, simulating the feeling of evening. This gentle transition helps passengers adjust naturally as the aircraft continues crossing time zones. Dinner service fades into the background. Many passengers now sleep comfortably with seats reclined and blankets wrapped loosely around them. The aircraft moves steadily across the night sky. At times, you almost forget you are flying at all. The experience begins to feel less like transportation and more like floating peacefully above the world. Eventually, the first signs of morning appear on the horizon. A thin golden line slowly rises beyond the clouds as the sun begins its return. The cabin lights gently brighten once again. Passengers begin waking gradually, stretching comfortably after hours of restful sleep. Breakfast service arrives with warm drinks and fresh food that brings energy back into the quiet cabin. Outside the window, a new continent slowly appears below. Cities begin to form along rivers and coastlines while highways wind across the land like silver threads. The aircraft slowly descends toward its destination. And as the runway approaches once again, something surprising happens. The journey doesn't feel exhausting. It doesn't feel stressful. Instead, it feels calm, relaxed, almost refreshing. Because when air travel is designed around comfort rather than simply efficiency, the entire experience changes. Flying becomes peaceful. Landing gently, the aircraft rolls across the runway and slowly makes its way toward the terminal. Passengers gather their belongings, but there is no rush. The atmosphere remains quiet, almost satisfied. Because the most relaxing airline experiences are not just about arriving somewhere new. They are about how you feel along the way. And sometimes, the journey itself becomes the most memorable part of the trip. If you enjoyed experiencing this peaceful side of aviation, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more stories about luxury flights, hidden airline upgrades, and the most comfortable ways to travel through the sky. And if you've ever experienced a flight that truly surprised you with its comfort, share your story in the comments. Because somewhere out there, another relaxing journey is already waiting above the clouds. Airplane.